Hi, party people. It is T minus 2.5 days till my surgery. So I wanted to do a vlog to go over stuff. I have an array of things around me. Stuff that I learned from or used last time I had my surgery that I found helpful in the recovery process from when I got home to keep things straight. I feel like nothing is complete unless you have a COVID test. Have to do one of those today. Maybe I'll even do it while I'm vlogging. So specifically, this is for my journey. I had breast cancer about 1.5 years ago. I stopped keeping track of numbers, which is great because when I started these vlogs, I was like, day 1, day 2. I have no idea what day I'm up to. It doesn't matter. It's like I'm 1.5 years out from my double mastectomy. I am having some issues on my left side, which was not the side that had most of the drama. Fast forward, long story short, I'm going in, today's Sunday, I'm going on Wednesday morning to have my Reconstruction revised and other stuff to hopefully fix everything and have there be no issues. But I find that, like, in general, which is why I titled this very vaguely, because I think anyone going into surgery could use some tips or tricks. And like with any surgery, especially now, you're probably going to have to take a COVID test before you go in. And you might have some mobility issues or nerve issues or med issues, issues that require you to have things like bendy straws from IKEA. So I thought I would share all this stuff with you. And I did a vlog like this before my double mastectomy, but I had never had surgery before, like not like this surgery, like small things. Like I had a tooth implant. And I didn't know what to expect out of the surgery. And granted, the surgery I'm having on Wednesday is far less invasive, and I should say invasive, it's far shorter in time than my original surgery was. I had a double mastectomy followed by immediate reconstruction with implants. One of my implants is not cooperating, or my body's not cooperating, something's not working, and you can rewind other vlogs to hear the story of that. But I really want to focus today on like what's around me, what I found helpful, because the first time through I feel like it was a deer in headlights. I just had acquired a bunch of information, and now that I've actually gone through it and I've gone through the healing and everything, and I'm gonna have to go through it all again, I just figured it's I'd like to share like what I put in place to make life easier for other people. I tag single moms on this because I am a single mom. I I don't want to give too much detail, but I live in an apartment with no elevator. So stairs are going to be an issue with balance. I'll get to that. And the world is just different when you're a single parent. You know, people that are single parents get it. If you don't, you probably don't get it. But there are certain things that have to be put in place that might seem extra to some people, but you know, when you're on your own, you know, you can have some great friends and whatever, but like when you're on your own and you're parenting 2 kids, really no matter what age they are, and there's not an additional parent to help you out with that, it creates a whole other sense of need and the things that you think that, or you might not even know that you need or want. So I'm just gonna jump right into all of that. So I say one thing as I may be a single mom and I have a wonderful crew of friends. I've been in a lot of discovery about the kind of friends that, or the kind of people in my space that work for me and the kind that are not working for me around this whole surgery thing. I recently had a text exchange and a phone call exchange by 2 different people that I'm like, I can't have this exchange right now. Like, this is not the time. one I was happy to hear from, but I'm like, I just don't have the bandwidth to dive into that. And the other one I thought I was happy to hear from until they were asking me to do stuff for them. And I'm like, dude, I'm going into surgery in 2 days. And they're like cutting open my boobs again. And I'm not going to be like up and at them and like, here's all I can do for you. It's not about you. If there's a time to be self-compassionate, it's now. And fortunately, unfortunately, like this journey has taught me a large lesson in life about being self-compassionate. I don't say selfish because selfish has a negative connotation, but it's taking care of myself and knowing what I need, knowing what I needed before, and I might have been too timid or embarrassed or whatever to ask for it. I don't feel that way this time through. I've been very vulnerable, clearly in my 170 whatever vlogs, but especially lately I've been very vulnerable in what I've been asking for. And vulnerability is not a weakness. I know it may look like you are losing your shit and you're crying and you're letting out all your emotions. That's not a negative thing. Those feelings have to come out. When you have a cancer diagnosis, it doesn't all hit you right away. For me, it didn't really hit me until I hit a year of being out for my cancer diagnosis. And I'm having much more emotional episodes this time through than I had the first time through. So I put things in place. So let me just get started with those things, what those things are. First of all, with the COVID test, so I need to, I could just do it right now, I guess. I have 2 of them, but like, if you live in town, by the way, you can get these for free at the library. You get 2 tests per person in your household. But they had suggested that I do a COVID test at home. Like I said, it's Sunday, like a couple days beforehand. Oh, it's the last one from the box. And when I get to the hospital on Wednesday, when I first go in, the very first thing I have to do is go into a separate like holding area to take a COVID test. If I test positive, I go home and I don't have the surgery. So I would like to know sooner than later if if I have COVID. I have no symptoms, but COVID can be asymptomatic. So I guess if you're watching this in the year 2040 and you're like, what's COVID? I read about that in my textbook for social studies or science or whatever. So here's a little vial, it has like solution in it. All the tests are different. Has a little top on it. And my hands are clean. I just washed them before, by the way. So I'm going to take off the top of this. Voila. Isn't this fun? This is the weirdo friggin' what the hell world that we're living in. Then you have this little packet that actually has the COVID test in it. Make sure you check the expiration date. A lot of COVID tests right now are expiring, which is why I'm using this one. So I'm taking that out, and then I have my long Q-tip that's gonna go jamming up my nose. So let me pay attention here as I'm doing this. You have instructions, but I feel like I've done so many friggin' COVID tests that I don't need to read the instructions anymore. So I'm gonna take this guy and jam it up my nose and twirl 5 times in one nostril while I'm spinning it, and then do the same thing in the other nostril. I'm not gonna talk while I do that. And then I'll explain what I'm doing after that. I think it's 15 seconds total. Every kit is different. All right, here it goes. So, twirling. Ugh. And the other one. I'm very anal retentive in general. Ugh. This particular kit, you have to have it soak. Alexa, set the timer for a minute.
1 minute, starting now. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No. Apparently me and my son have the similar voice, I guess, because whenever my Alexa goes off, his goes off too. So I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, just because that's what you do for that. And then you have your little test thing here, and this is where you put like, was it 3 or 4? This one's 4 droplets, the other ones are 3, and hopefully it will only have 1 line and I won't be pregnant. Haha, just kidding, I won't have COVID. I have been masking a ton. I've been using KN95 masks, or N95 masks, sorry, to mask like pretty much anytime I'm within 6 feet of someone, because I'm like, I don't want to screw with, I was supposed to start this. I don't want to like screw around with, Alexa, shut off. So I'm going to take this and I'm swirling it around, swirly, swirly. And then you squeeze and get as much of the booger juices down as you can. Dispose of that. Put this little top thing on. Snaps in. And then you put your drops in that little hole. Welcome to the world of 2022. Or 2023. Alexa, set timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
All right, so that just has to sit. And this is foaming up, which I don't know why. But whatevs. I'm gonna close this up. So wasn't that fun? So they'll do another rapid test like that when I get to the hospital on Wednesday, but at least they'll give me a heads up because I don't really plan on seeing anybody. Well, I am going to go grocery shopping today, but I'll wear a mask when I do that. So I'm going to put all this away. So COVID tests. If you're having this anytime soon, make sure that you have COVID tests at home. That way you can test yourself and not be shocked when you get there. My surgery actually was pushed up 2 hours because the person that was supposed to have surgery before me test positive for COVID, so they had to cancel her appointment. So it works out well for me, but sucks for her. All right, so while that's doing its thing, COVID test, make sure you have 1 or 2 on hand. All right, what's around me? I'm just gonna like kind of go in order here. I was talking about like being vulnerable and asking for things that you need. So sign of genius. First time I had my surgery, my double mastectomy, I'd gone through church. So I didn't really know where to go or who was available to help and whatever. And again, specifically reaching out to the single mom or divorced moms, I should say, or divorced people, I should say, not just necessarily moms for any surgery. I had a fluctuation of friendships after I got divorced. I, was not the a husband, wife with 2 kids and a dog. We never had a dog, but you know what I mean. That picture was then gone, and friends were like, oh, well, I can't hang out with Jen now because like she's going to try to pick up all her husbands. I'm like, what? No. So people just got weird, and it was a discovery and patience to try to figure out who my friends were after that. That happened like 7 years ago. And, then like when you get a diagnosis of cancer or anything big that's going on, you get 2 types of people. You get the one side where you have your family and your friends and people you've known for like 30 years. And you're like, oh, they're going to do all this because I've known them for so long and they love me and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden some of them are like radio silent, or on your case, like, well, you didn't call me and you didn't tell me this, and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, dude, I'm the one with the diagnosis, like, lay off. Yeah. So you have those people. And then on the other side, and then you have like people that are, have been there for you, continue to be there for you. They're your rock stars. And then there's another side of people that you're like, oh, like I know who these people are, or maybe you don't even know who they are. And all of a sudden they come into your space and they're like, what can I do for you? And I'm like, why are you doing things for me? Like, you don't even know who I am, or we're not close. But then all of a sudden they're doing things for you and then you become close. A perfect example of that is I got a card in the mail. I should have brought it over here, but I didn't. Ugh, I brought a different card because avocados are just funny. I got a card in the mail Wouldn't it be funny if I had COVID? There's only one bar, so I think I'm good. I got a card in the mail with no return address, and inside was an Amazon gift card, and it was just a get well card, and it was signed from a fellow Bedford mom. No idea who it is, no return address. It wasn't about the Amazon gift card. I mean, sure, that's going to be helpful with like groceries, delivery of groceries and that kind of stuff. But it was like some random person just, thought of me. And that means like so much. You don't really know like your impact in your world until I feel like big things happen, positive or negative. I feel like I'm pretty known in town. Obviously, I'm not really shy and bashful because I'm up here, and I feel like a lot of people in town know who I am anyway, just because of the things I volunteered for mostly in the past. But it's just so interesting as to the impact that you have on people that you're not even aware of. So the cards are nice. So one of my asks, actually rewinding. So, you have those people. The first time through, I asked people that I thought would be the people that would step up. And there weren't a ton, but I'd say I don't know, 10-ish people who I thought would be there. And they weren't. And I'm like, well, now no one's going to be there for me. That just wasn't the case. But I didn't learn that until later and to see what people actually did to step up. So the first time a friend of mine through church, she had organized a sign-up genius to get, because I'm like, I don't even know what I need. The first time, I had no idea what I really needed. People start throwing things out at you, like, here's all the things that you need. And some of those I did need and some I really didn't. But food, clothing, shelter. Shelter is, I straightened up my apartment as best I can. I had a cleaning lady come in to do a full clean because I feel better when the apartment's clean. I won't be able to scrub for a bit, in a couple of weeks. So good to do or have someone do it now. That was my gift to myself. That's the shelter part. Clothing part for, at least for this surgery, it's wintertime now. When I had my mastectomy, it was the summertime. So I had clothes that were appropriate for drains and excess weight. Well, actually, I didn't really gain the weight at that point. If you rewind all the way, all this weight that I have now, I wasn't there then. The weights from the meds that I'd started after surgery. I hate when I lose my train of thought. Crap. Sign up genius. Oh, clothes. Food, clothing, shelter. Clothes. So the clothes that I have that I needed bigger clothes because I had 2 drains on each side last time after the surgery. And don't be super scared of the drains, by the way. People are like, oh no, drains. They're annoying. But they're there to get all the gunk out of you, and it's not rocket science on how you get rid of the drains. I do have actually, I'm not even sure if it's a vlog, or no, it is a vlog. I have a vlog on this channel for how to empty out the drains. I also put it up on my neighbor's, or I didn't put it up, but Paul Whitten, who is the producer, put it up on my Neighbors to Know page because I also did a talk show before all this stuff happened. Or I shouldn't say that. I filmed an episode a month ago. So I still do that. But the drains aren't so scary. It's just that they're annoying. And I have an appointment a week after surgery. And my understanding is they're taking the drains out. So I think I'll only have 2. I don't know. It depends on what your output is on the drains, but we'll get to more of that later. So the clothing is just to have bigger clothing to be able to fit. I don't want to walk around the apartment with my kids and my drains hanging out. That's gross. It's the drains is all bloody gunk that comes out of you after surgery, which is helpful for you. But again, you don't want to friggin' walk around like that. So, you need things that are big that can cover it. If you want to leave the house to actually do stuff, It's good to have like bigger hoodies or something. Someone had given me a hoodie that had, when you opened it up, it had pockets so that you can put the drains in the pockets. The kind of drains I had last time, like when you leave surgery, they put you in a surgical bra that has Velcro here and Velcro along the shoulders because it has to be adjustable, and Velcro on the sides so that they can get to where the drain holes are. And it sounds gross, but like it is like they take basically a tube and go through your skin. My scars from my drains are like totally gone. It just looks kind of creepy at the time that you're like this cyborg or something with a tube sticking out of you on both sides. And I don't know what they're going to have this time for like numbers of tubes. It doesn't really matter. But the first day I remember I didn't have the strength to be able to, not the strength, the mobility to be able to turn and like do it myself because it was just so tight in here that I needed someone to help me with that. And I'm not going to ask my kids for that. So I have in place to have a friend of mine who's going to be staying over here until I'm a little bit more self-sufficient. They had a visiting nurse come to my apartment the first time through. I don't know if they're doing that this time or not. We'll have to see. So the clothing thing. When I had the double mastectomy, I was about 25 pounds less than I am right now. So the clothes again that I had, they were A, for summer, and B, thinner, smaller fitting clothes. I had started tamoxifen, I'm on Lupron, I'm on the Zometa, I'm on gabapentin the Zometa and the gabapentin are to kind of bypass side effects from the tamoxifen, but almost every one of the meds that I'm on slows down my metabolism a lot. So even if I go to the gym and work out and do all these cardio things, whatever, like I'm not really able to lose much weight. If I do, it's for like a couple of days, and then I'll eat like a regular meal and then it will be back up again. What are you going to do? I'm not super concerned about it for now. Let me get through the surgery and then I'll, worry about it. So that's clothing. So I did buy, I'd given away my shirt with the drain pockets. So I ordered another one because I needed one in a bigger size anyway. And then I didn't buy that many clothes. Like my pants are really no different. After surgery, it is hard you do have pulling restrictions and pushing restrictions for that matter. So like I had worn compression socks to surgery, to have that be the healthy thing to do. But then I couldn't get them off because I couldn't push or pull to get the socks off, and I needed help with that. Your humility, it all goes out the window. You just need to like be able to get by. And it's just, it's an adjustment, and you have to be okay with asking for help and being vulnerable. So I didn't buy a lot. I just have like a couple of extra sweatshirts that are like super big, and that's it. I have a shoehorn that I had gotten from the Council on Aging. I got a lot of great things from the Council on Aging. Grabbers. Oh, I have to find my grabber. Grabbers were good things too because you can't reach up high. Like my ability to do this is not going to be the case on Wednesday. This took a lot of PT and a lot of exercise. Like, oh, can you see my biceps yet? Look how big they are. Yeah, my mobility is going to be much, much more limited after surgery. And I know that I signed up for that, whatever. But the grabbers are very helpful. You can rewind to look at the vlog about the COA. One of the white things, I wasn't sure what it was. Apparently it's something to help you get your socks on, but I just wore ankle socks, so I didn't really have a hard time with getting my socks on and off. Shoes, though, are a whole other matter. In the summertime, you can just like put on flip-flops or something. Now there's winter and it's snowy, can't really wear flip-flops. We have a Buy Nothing group in our town on Facebook, so I got a pair of boots that I can just like slip on and just, walk around with. And they have a zipper that's just easier to get up and down. But the shoehorn comes in handy because like you can't really, it's hard to bend over because like this just feels like one big block of bricks that you can't really maneuver easily. So the shoehorn was super handy. And the grabber is definitely handy, especially like when you're doing, when you are good enough that you can do laundry. The grabber you can use to take clothes from the washing machine and put them in the dryer. because you can't like bend over to reach into the washing machine. I feel like I should put this down because all you see is the lamp and not really what I'm doing with my hands. And then you can see my fun shirt, which doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, except for bears and wolves. They will kill you. Haha. Okay. So food. Oh, so food. Food, like I said, first time I went through church, and they, I didn't know where to start. A friend of mine offered like to help organize what I would need. So she set up a sign up genius and sent it out to church. And a couple of friends were like, can you add me on to that? Most of the people that came to drop off meals were people that I knew from church. I get not everyone goes to church. There are other, groups that you can ask that for. This time I didn't go through church. I put together, I figured I'd start with friends that I thought were going to help. And then I asked through Facebook, I said, if you want to help and groceries or meals, like let me know your email and we'll add you on to the Sign Up Genius. I had a very, very, very hard time creating the Sign Up Genius to the point that I wasn't the one that created it. I was kind of really humiliated to have to send out a Sign Up Genius from myself asking for help. I can be very vulnerable. I just could not get to that point and I was just stuck. So two of my friends worked together to get it together and sent it out. They sent it out on a one. Oh, Alexa, shut off. And guess what? Oh, one line. Whoop, whoop. I don't have COVID. Yay. Check. Next. So the Sign Up Genius, I made a Word doc and I made a list of friends and emails. There were people on that list that said they would help last time and then didn't. Nor did they ever check in on me. I'm all about second chances and stuff, but like third, fourth chances, I don't want to have to chase anyone to see if they give a shit about me. I'm so like over that. No. So I got rid of some people from there. I deleted friends on Facebook and it felt really good. One I deleted, but not on purpose. Anyway, that's another story. So the Sign Up Genius is for a month. Last time I got meals for like, 3-4 months, but then I had like COVID in there too. And there's just a lot of weird health shit going on for me. So basically I have meals every day in the beginning. And then after a week or two, it goes to like 3 times a week or something. Figuring that when someone brings a meal, it could last me like 2 days or something. So there were meals. Because I'm in an apartment, or I guess it wouldn't really matter, but I can't, I specifically requested that people not deliver the meals in like big casserole dishes or something. I am on weight restrictions to what I can carry. So if someone comes in with a big Corning with a lid on it, I can't do anything with it. And granted, COVID's better. I don't mind so much having people in my apartment, but the more people back and forth, the more potential to get COVID, and I don't need that on top of everything else. I asked that the people that did take care of food be fully vaxxed and boosted, because I just don't need to add that on top of everything else. So I asked so that was the meals, and then grocery trips, because again, I don't have an elevator. I can't push it. Like I remember from last time, I couldn't push a shopping cart. I couldn't pull a shopping cart. I couldn't lift the bags even when I was checking out, like to get up and go over. And I couldn't do any of that stuff. So I asked for help with groceries in that way that I can, I guess a good thing out of COVID was I learned other ways that you can get your shopping done. With Amazon, you can put an order at a Whole Foods and then they will pack it all up, and then they do deliver it. So that's an option. So I did ask for Amazon gift cards for that. And then another choice is that people can pull up. Like if a friend just wanted to pull up and save me on the, I don't even know if there's delivery fees. They can just pick up the bags and just bring them upstairs for me. The problem is that once it gets to my door, I'm like, that's great that it's at the door, but now how do I get it from the door into my kitchen? Because I got to like lift everything up and I can't lift. So what do I do? So I got a dolly, with omnidirectional casters on the bottom. Wonderful friends that help put that together and get that ready for me. And I'm going to leave it outside my door, so that way when people drop stuff off, I can just use my foot and get it in and get it over to my kitchen, and then just take my time to, to take stuff out. So it was meals, it was grocery pickup, and gift cards, because people said like, well, I don't cook, or I don't cook, or they're working a lot or whatever, but they want to help somehow. And someone, mentioned it to me, or I think someone sent me a gift card or something. And I said, all right, we'll open up a thing if people want to do a gift card. I'm not going to say no. I'm taking leave from work for 4 weeks, and paid by the state, so I don't get my full income. So obviously there's like a dip in there when it comes to funds. So if people want to do that for help, that's great. So people started sending gift cards. Amazon, because of the grocery shopping. Instacart, again, because of the grocery shopping. And Grubhub is super handy too, because the days that I have like really tough days, if you rewind a couple of vlogs back, after my last Somata infusion, the next day, like I was in bad shape, and I couldn't even like get into the kitchen to make myself coffee. It was awful. But the Grubhub thing is like, okay, I can lay on my couch and I can go on my phone and order Grubhub, and then, someone can deliver a breakfast burrito to my door, and it's just like a great gift. So that was a sign of genius, and I'm thrilled and feel loved that it was filled. I think there's one spot left. But other than that, it was filled, which was great. So things around me. This, which you may recognize from a year and a half ago, I did not get rid of it. This is a pillow to use when you leave surgery. This is specific for not just general surgery, but having the mastectomy or boob surgery. This tucks under here, and then the seatbelt comes over so that the seatbelt isn't like pushing up against your chest, because that would not be comfortable. So this is like super important to go with me. And I can't drive for a week after surgery because I will be on narcotics. And after that, I just have to see how it is. It takes time, mostly because of the turning. Like I want to be able to drive safely. And if I can't turn to see which way I'm going, like I'm not going to put myself behind the wheel of the car. So there's this. Another thing is, I asked for a lot of paper products, which I know is not eco-friendly, but I can't do dishes. Like when my kids are home, it's fine, but my kids go back to college and then it's just me home. So, I can't do dishes right away. Again, it's the pulling, it's the reaching, it's the scrubbing. I can't do all that stuff. Even lifting, like the plate, after surgery, like everything just seems really heavy, even though it might not really seem heavy. So, coffee cups. Coffee works very well too, because when you're on the anesthesia, and I think the Oxy afterwards, at least they prescribed Oxy for me. It's constipating. No one wants to talk about poop, but it's constipating. And like, your body just stops working while they're working on your, your surgery and stuff. So like it takes a while for things to get up and get moving again. So they prescribed, Colace to go along with the Oxy, and to get things going. I find that coffee gets things going. It doesn't have to be caffeinated coffee. I find for me, caffeinated coffee works really well if I have a headache. So I kind of save that till I need it. But again, to pick up to go grab a mug and like move the mug around, it's just it doesn't work. So I asked for disposable coffee cups. I don't really know if it matters so much if I have a lid or not, but anyway, so I have those. Oh, one of them has a lid and one, oh, maybe these are cold cups actually. I'm not sure. But I did ask for cold cups too. Like I'm having a party, solo cups. Same thing, because I need to drink a ton of fluid. They told me to drink around 70 ounces of water, even like now going into surgery, because being hydrated is crucial to get things like moving, not only for the pooping part, but just to, to help you heal and not be dehydrated. But it's, If I use a glass, I'm getting up all the time to keep filling it up because the glass can only hold so much. And if the glass is bigger, it's heavy, and then that hurts. So I asked for, this worked last time too, I asked for solo cups that were relatively big. These are 18 ounces, which is great. So, you know, if you do the math to figure out how many of these you need to get to like 70 ounces a day. And then I asked for straws. When I got these, I actually started crying because they're colorful and like they're bendy straws. Anyone that's been in a hospital before, you see bendy straws. There aren't regular straws because, you know, having a bendy straw face down is a lot easier to like lean up and take a sip than it is to try to finagle up and around the straw to be able to drink out of it. So while not eco-friendly, bendy straws are your friend after surgery. And then it's funny because I had a straw dispenser like this in green, and I must have gotten rid of it after surgery. I don't even remember because I'm like, I don't really use straws, but they're fun to have. And someone didn't need one anymore, so now I have a place to have the straws. So I have that. I can't rave enough about Squishmallows. This is, he looks so much bigger. This was Tex, well, this is Tex the Taco. He's just missing, he used to have lettuce and tomato coming out of him, but the lettuce and tomato were made out of like this felty material, and it was like, didn't feel good. So like, we cut off his stuff, so now he's just like a burrito. But this has been freaking awesome. I don't know if I could like sleep as much as I don't sleep well, but this has helped me sleep tremendously. Because it's a squishmallow, it's obviously very squishy. So when I sleep, I don't know how this will work after surgery, but once things healed a bit more and I was able to sleep on my side, I just like jam him up next to me and like go to sleep. It's soft, the material is super soft, and he's super moldable. So I can't tell you what an awesome gift this was. I know people that had been diagnosed with breast cancer after I was, and I sent them Squishmallows, and it might have seemed weird, but I can't even tell you how much like this has been used to help. I mean, it's like perfect size for for my chest. Let's see, what else do I have here? Cards, bravocado. Getting cards from people, it's not about the gift cards. It's funny because I'm not going to show you all this, but it says like, holy guacamole, you're doing great. That complete sticker, I remember using that sticker actually on my old boob before they were cut off. Because the complete one was the tumor I had that was benign, which ironically is the side I'm getting fixed now. But cards, just like cookie cards, they just like cheer me up. And it's like shortly after Christmas time, I took down all my Christmas cards from people, and I've been getting cards in the mail from people like get well soon or whatever. And it just reminds me that I'm not on my own. Like, I know that I'm not on my own because I have a great group of friends, and you know, they check up on me and stuff. But when I'm physically looking at the cards on the wall, like, it just reminds me that like I'm really not on my own. What else is around me? So I bought a planner. It's pink. I did that on purpose because I thought I would start to like pink. I don't know. I bought this planner. I wrote in it one day and the rest is blank. Oh, I had good intention. But what I wanted to use the planner for was to keep track, kind of like a family planner, you know, while my kids are here and while I have my friend here, like important things on here. This was my planner from last time when I had my surgery. And like, you know, I had different colors that I used with the markers. That was before surgery. That was after diagnosis. Like, it's all pretty and color coordinated. And then like, it's not. But then I wrote things in here, which is handy, of like what meds I was supposed to take, what time of day I was supposed to take it. I'm gonna, because I tweaked that system, I'm gonna get to the other part in a second. With the Sign Up Genius, who is bringing food when, and same thing with grocery shopping and what they were bringing. So if my kids, you know, they would know that, like, you know, today Paul's bringing chicken with whatever sauce. So that's what I use this for. I just kind of like left it on the kitchen table so that way my kids could see it and know what was going on. I have another wall calendar, but again, I that's what I want to put up there. And like we use a Google Calendar for shared stuff, but I like I don't, it's hard to, with the meals and stuff, just easier like visually to have it right out in front of you to see like what's coming on what day. I put reminders in here too, like to get up and walk. They're like, you know, the faster you can get up to walk, the more you're going to heal. Friends had started sending stickers, so I would use stickers as incentive things for me. PT exercises, whatever, like I just use this to, you know, to help me stay motivated. So that's the planner. Also got plates, thicker ones. These are luncheon ones, and I also have dinner plates. Not the thin paper ones because they soak through, and like you want to be able to put it in the microwave to like heat stuff up or whatever. So these are like the thicker ones. Again, same reason, like I can't do dishes, so I need to have disposable plates. My fan, this thing has been my best friend. I use it all the time. I have another one at work that I'm actually going to be bringing home with me since I won't be at work. But this is just separate and aside. Like the hot flashes from the tamoxifen and the Lupron, like I wake up pretty much every day in the middle of the night and I'm just like burning up, even though I take the gabapentin for that. This is just, I don't know what I do without this. Your post-op instructions, make sure that you print those out and highlight things that are important. Make sure you read them. Last time I didn't really read all of them, because there were stuff that I actually remember from last time that weren't on these. One of them was shaving. I remember last time they told me not to shave my armpits for like several days before surgery, and no one mentioned that this time. And I didn't know if the shaving was because of I had lymph nodes removed, and I'm like, is that why they told me not to shave? I didn't know, like, did they cut into your armpit? I still don't quite know why. But I sent a message in the gateway and they're like, yeah, like they want at least 48 hours of hair growth in your armpits going into surgery. So, yeah, so I have hairy pits for a little bit, whatever, not a big deal. So yeah, writing down your appointments and stuff, just so that you know, and this is just me, again, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not advice. I'm just telling you what I was advised was to not take any supplements. It wasn't necessarily about medication. Certain medications you can't take. Like if you're on a blood thinner, you have to talk to your doctors about that because they might not want you to be on a blood thinner going into surgery because it will increase how much you bleed during surgery. But they told me to stop supplements. So I was taking vitamin D and fish oil and they're like, nope, stop taking it for a week before. And I think they said I can start a week after, which I was surprised about the supplements because I thought like supplements like wouldn't be a big deal. Fish oil, I didn't realize, is a blood thinner too. I didn't know that. So like I said with the agenda thing, I had written in there originally, like I had little check boxes of what meds to take. And then my friend who's staying with me is just as anal retentive as I am. And then she made a chart, a spreadsheet, which was super handy. And yes, it takes up the whole page. I ended up writing notes on the bottom about things too, because I have like other meds I'm already on now because of the cancer garbage. My cancer was estrogen and progesterone positive, which is why I'm on certain meds. So the chart is what's the medicine, what are the directions of like what, you know, how much I'm supposed to take, what's the point of the medicine. I guess maybe she just wanted to know that. And then the timestamps are morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then bedtime. So the meds that, and there's space on the bottom here. I found this to be much more effective to keep things straight because using the planner, it's just, there's too much stuff going on. There's too many meds to take and things to coordinate. So I printed out 2 weeks worth of these. And I really want to like start filling them in today, really, so that I have everything all set for surgery because there's certain things I'm supposed to stop taking. doctor calls in your medication before your post-op medication before you actually go in. So I have an antibiotic to be on only for 3 days. I feel like it was longer the first time. And then the Oxy for pain meds. They said take Tylenol also, so make sure you've got Tylenol that's not expired. So that's the Oxy. Oh my God, there's really not a lot of pills in there. I'm not a drug user, just saying, but like, I know there's, oh wait, okay. I know there are more than I thought there were, but there's still not a lot. How often do I take this? Take 1 tablet by mouth every 6 hours as needed. That's not a lot of pills. Jeez. Wow. Okay. No refills. Okay. Hopefully it won't hurt. That's not a lot of pills. Yeah, well, that was surprising. And then what else is in here? Oh, that's just other meds that I was on. Okay, so that's over there. Shit gets real when you're like, I don't have a lot of opioids to rely on. I get there's an opioid crisis. Like, I just don't take meds very frequently. Anyway, bins. Bins. It's funny what's even in my bin from last time. I still have a fan in here before I bought the electric one. I have a fan in here, and I have chapstick. You cannot have enough friggin' lip balm because you're just really dry afterwards. I will be intubated. It's just, you get really dry. But like, even to have like TV remotes and stuff, and one of them, I'll have one of these. I have a standing desk, but it the way it's shaped, it kind of goes over my bed. So it's like those table things that you have like in a hospital room. So I can put like one of these in there, and I'll have like, I got Dixie cups, also important, Dixie cups to put the pills in that you need in like the middle of the night or something. If you're due to take your pain meds at like 2 a.m. or something. I know that they say that you should like just sleep through if you need to sleep through. They also say don't chase the pain. So there's a fine balance between when you like decide to take the meds. But especially with the Tylenol, I think like not chasing it and being on top of it, so that way you're not in a lot of pain. Like, no one needs to be a martyr with this shit. You know, you'll have your time to not be in pain. Anyway, so I'll have one of these on my, next to my bed. Hand cream. Hand cream definitely needed again because you're dry after all the stuff happens. I'm getting nauseous just talking about all this stuff. Play-Doh. Play-Doh, I highly recommend that you get some Play-Doh because of nerve issues. Nerve issues could make you in some wacko sensory overload. Black just makes your fingers like black. I like light colors for Play-Doh because if they get under your nails, you don't see them as well. Oh, nails, by the way. They put a pulse oximeter on you and they use more than one finger. So it was advised to not use nail polish. I've heard differing stories on that, but you know, like, it's not worth it for my nails. Like, I don't really care. I'd rather than know what my blood saturation or oxygen saturation levels are than like having pretty nails right away. I also got this rainbow putty. My boss gave me this after my first surgery. Clearly it's 1.5 years old and I've used 3 colors. They do get moldy, by the way, when they've been used and you put them back in because of the gunk on your hands, but each one is like individually sealed, so these 3 are fine. But it's more wet, and it gives just a different sensation for nerve stuff that you have going on. Because I just remember being in sensory overload, and you just don't know what's going to hit you when, so it's good to have like a little, you know, arsenal of things at the ready for whatever you need. So another one I have is this hard thing. It's a hard plastic. It's actually for your feet for plantar fasciitis. But it has hard nubs on it. So when you want something like rough to, you know, for the nerve stuff, you can just like rub your fingers against something hard. Again, it doesn't have to be something fancy. You can also use a rock. So this rock is not smooth at all. It's pretty rough, so I can just like, and I've done that before last time. Tips and tricks. You know, you learn these things. Here's more Play-Doh. And look, there's even more Play-Doh. And look, there's even more lip balm. I got the 12 days of chapstick for Christmas for myself because I knew that I was going into surgery. So this one is Vanilla Mint. This fidget cube, very handy depending on what you need. It was mostly this button, this thing, like an on and off switch. I would just like go back and forth, like, which sounds really annoying, but was very helpful. And then these little 3 nub things were super handy because they're spiky. So, and again, it was almost like you needed to have like just hard input. The soft things like just did not work for me. And then my most recent acquirement from a friend of mine for Christmas is this little heart thing, and you just squash it. And you hear that? It sounds so gross. And it kind of looks gross too. But man, when you have sensory overload, this feels so good. Sorry, this could be like triggering for men. Like, but yeah, this feels awesome and it's cool to the touch. It was, I don't know, a friend of mine sent it to me for Christmas, but like, because of my sensory stuff, using this at work can get kind of annoying because it makes that sound. Okay, so finishing up here, I have, because you gotta have a pink notebook when you have breast cancer. Well, had, whatever. I've obviously not even like opened it since I got it from someone, but it's good to have paper and pen around so when someone calls and the doctors call and give you instructions or something, you have a place to write it down. You know, if you're like, oh, I'll just write it on my phone, I just find it hard to like flip over to speaker and then go to notes and type things and pay attention, and it's just a lot easier for me to just write in something. So like, hey, look at all the pink ribbons. And last thing that's around me is my Darth Vader. Here he is. Did I show him to you before? I don't remember if I showed him to you before. Where is he? Why isn't he turning on? Oh. Yeah, so I got a Darth Vader because when I have my Lupron injections, right before that, I either get really sad or I get really angry. The force is strong in this one. It truly is. So my son got this for me as a gift when he went to Disney. So he's like moldable. You can take his cape off if you want to. If you go like that, look, his lightsaber lights up. Yeah. So when I'm feeling like dark and evil and mad, I put Darth Vader on my coffee table, and it's just kind of a sign to whoever's coming near me to like back off. So yeah, there's that. I have a candle next to me I should put it away because it was out for Christmas, but I would suggest not to use candles because you probably will be falling asleep sporadically and you don't want to like, you know, have your house go on fire. And I think that's it. That was a lot. That was 53 minutes, but like, it's a lot of information. In the short term, like I have my foam rollers out, because there is a concern for me that I'm going to get frozen shoulder again. You know, they did say, by the way, because during I had more than one pre-op call. During one of those calls, they go through the whole long list, like, do you have this, blah, blah, blah. So, I have had some neuropathy in my left hand. It started a few months ago. I don't know if it's related to all the crap that's going on here or not, but when they lay you down for surgery, your arm's out, you're out like a T, and they tape you down or strap you down or whatever. If they know that you have neuropathy in your hand, they obviously will be more, you know, cognizant of how they're strapping you down. And she told me, like, when you go in for the surgery before anesthesia, like, remind them that you have the neuropathy. I hope I do. I don't know if I'll remember, but I told them at least. And to tell them that I had frozen shoulder last time. So, granted, the surgery is nowhere near as long as it was for the original one, but I don't want to end up having frozen shoulder again. Like, you know, when your arm... I had shoulder issues before all that stuff happened. Not, like, severe, but it was severe after the surgery was done. But having your arm just like, you know, when your body's out like this for, you know, that long of a time and you're strapped down and you can't move, It's tough. So I have my foam rollers out, and I've been rolling out like now, just so that my body's, kind of getting used to or built up, I guess, before I go into surgery. I have been exercising and doing stretching and core exercises and bicep exercises, tricep exercises, balance exercises, for the past like 5-6 weeks. Again, getting ready for, partly to try to get back in shape, but also to get ready for surgery so that hopefully my healing will be a lot faster than what it was last time. Oh, and then my roots are stupid gray, so I scheduled my hair to be done the day before surgery. That way I'll have good hair and I won't have to worry about that. A shower chair, I had mine in storage. I took it back out. I can shower after surgery. The one thing I have to look for if I still have is, obviously don't want to shower with my bra on because it's going to get soaking wet. But they tell you to get lanyards. I started explaining about the bra, I never finished, but the surgery bra, aside from the Velcro stuff, it has these like two little fabric loops on the bottom, and the drains basically get hooked onto those loops. So like you can like put your arms out and like the drains won't fall to the floor. They're just hanging from those two loops. So when you take a shower, because the drains are attached on the inside of you, you don't want them hanging loose because that would be very uncomfortable on the sides of your body. But you can use a lanyard or two and attach take the bra off, but attach the drain hooks, or not hooks, or loops, clasps, whatever, onto the lanyard, and that's how you would shower. Balance is off, which is why getting a shower stool might not be a bad idea, so that you can sit while you shower. And then like hair, I wash my hair like maybe twice a week or something anyway, but you won't be able to like go up and like scrub your hair for a while, so you can get some dry shampoo or something, or go someplace to get them to, wash your hair for you. There's other things, but you can go back to a year and a half ago's vlogs to look at those. But that's just like what was physically around me, and now I have to put all this stuff away. Bins. Make sure you have bins out. I mentioned those bins, but I mean like in the kitchen and stuff. So like the plates that I have and all that stuff, I'm organizing them into bins to put on my kitchen counter. I did get a microwave from a friend who it's sitting. My microwave right now is above my stove, which again I can open it, but then I can't like maneuver holding a plate and getting it in there because it's too high. So I got a microwave that I'm just borrowing that sits on the countertop, so I can just like do it straight in, or just kind of go from the counter right into the microwave. But the bins will hold like plastic utensils and plates and cups and the straws, bowls. I did buy a Keurig, like a single cup Keurig, when I had the surgery the first time, because the Keurig cups are just a lot easier. And like I said, the coffee helps things, going in the morning. I think that's it. Ginger ale in case I get nauseous. That's all I can think of. But I think I covered a lot. It's almost an hour. But big day's coming up, and like, hooray for me that I'm COVID negative. So let's hope that stays the same for Wednesday. All right, everyone, wish me luck. I don't know when I'm going to vlog again. I just kind of need to slow down and take care of me. So we'll see how things go. And probably next time I talk to you, I will have a new left boob and a fixed right boob and be right as rain. Here's hoping this is the last surgery that I need. All right, that's all I got. See y'all next time. Bye.